Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Listen, Loan, Let's Go podcast. As always, Xavier, it's a pleasure to sit across from you. Welcome once again.
Thank you, and thanks for still being here.
Oh, I love it. I look forward to this every single month. Now, today's a little bit different. We're going to introduce a team member in Belle. So what can we expect from that chat with her?
Well, the idea today was to talk a little bit more about the business, the company, and our team. Like, you know, the podcast is often about buyers and what we do for them, but what has happened here? And there are some changes in the industry and in the business I think it'd be good to cover.
Yeah, so we're going to cover that with Belle, and then we're also going to cover it with you to hear your perspective. So as always, shall we listen, learn, and let's go?
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, Xavier, we have got a very special guest with us today for this segment. I'm very excited as we start to introduce the team to the Listen, Learn, Let's Go audience. Belle, welcome to the show. And to start with, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, thank you for having me. My name's Belinda. I work here at Go Mortgage and have been with the business for 2 years now. And I'm a loan processor within the team, and like to, work with our clients to make that journey as pain-free and easy as possible.
And what does a loan processor do?
So a loan processor takes the deal, and essentially we work with the lenders and we lodge the deal to the lenders, package it all nicely, and pretty much we just want to make sure that it's, they don't come back with any questions, and work with the lenders, so that the clients don't have to do that hard slog.
So as a broker, when I promise, well, I don't promise, but assure, I should say, when I assure one of our customers it should fly through, you're actually the one making that happen.
I'm the person with the whip, making sure that, it gets approved, and that we settle as well in a timely manner.
Excellent. That's awesome.
So you said off the top that you've been here 2 years.
Yep.
What about your background? What were you doing prior to joining the team here at Go?
Yeah, so prior to working in finance for Go Mortgage, I was working for an online pet store in sales and marketing, and prior to that I was a graphic designer. So a lot of chopping and changing within different industries, different roles, but I landed and found myself in finance as I had previously built my own property with my partner. We had a really good broker at the time as well. So I wanted to get into the finance industry, particularly within, mortgage broking in particular, and then to learn more and to help our clients achieve the same goal.
Awesome.
Now, the pet industry can be pretty sexy for those who like animals, I suppose. The mortgage industry, traditionally, it's been a bit of a fuddy-duddy, maybe a red tape kind of look. You came from pet to here.
Yeah.
So is it sexy these days? Like, what drew you to move to this industry?
I think in this day and age, I think financial literacy is something that more people are wanting to get better at. Mm-hmm. It's not something that, as Xavier says, is not taught in schools or anything like that. And so I think in this day and age, people are more open to learning more. I don't know if it's typically a sexy industry to get into. Personally, for me, I find finance. I find finance sexy. I don't think a lot of people do, but I suppose our job is to make sure that transaction, with the client and the purchase, because it's such, such a big purchase, that we make that as sexy as possible.
So, Belle, tell us a little bit about working here at Go. What do you like about the culture here?
Zav, can you just leave the room for a bit? No.
Headphones off.
No, what I love best, working at Go Mortgage, we've got that responsibility of, dealing with clients' financials and really personal information. And so being on the client journey, I think, is such an important part of it. You kind of take some of it with you as much as you don't want to, but also, the team culture here, everyone supports each other. We've got our own roles to do, which kind of tie into the next person. So it's a constant thing of, making sure, you do your part and also support the team around you.
And how does Belle go in lifting the culture here?
Would you mind stepping up?
Does Belle provide a bright spark or a laugh or a prankster?
Look, I know you guys are in footy, so Belle is definitely an MVP.
Okay,
there
great.
Is most valuable player, by the way. So, no, she's been awesome. it fascinates me that I've been doing this for a long time, so I don't get much perspective these days, but knowing that you came from a different industry 2 years ago and the impact you have on the clients these days, I always underestimate how much impact we have on our clients' lives. It's really powerful, and we've covered it in other episodes with buyers agents, real estate agents, but property is a massive wealth creator. It's also where you live and where your kids grow and attach a lot of emotions. So I'm at the point where I would like to build a team and a legacy and for people to follow on. So seeing what you've done so far in 2 years, I think it's amazing. And if we could do that more and more in our business, then that would make me super happy.
No, that's awesome, Xavier. And I was going to ask you, Belle, too, out of interest for you, do you ever have days where you walk away and you go, gee, when you walk away from your job and you feel satisfied and that was worthwhile because you've seen a success story within some of your clients? Can you maybe share some of those moments you may have felt over your journey of being here at Go?
Yeah, definitely. I started off in the front end of the process, collecting client documents, discovering, or we call it the discovery phase, discovering, financial information from clients. I suppose in my role at the moment with loan processing in particular, we've got, I think the most rewarding part of it all is when you finally get that approval. It's like you do all the hard yards, and then to finally, get that email from the bank to say the client's been approved, that's the best feeling.
Yeah, pop the bottle of champagne
exactly,
open there,
and let's
sure.
celebrate.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we asked Xavier in episode 1, what sets Go apart. But I'm interested in, there's one thing coming from the founder and the owner, but coming from you as a staff member, what do you believe sets Go apart from competitors?
I think with the amount of knowledge and experience that, Xavier and Leona and the brokers that we have in our office, the experience, the knowledge and the genuine care for our clients is what sets us apart, providing that 5-star service at all times. It doesn't matter whether you're, a team member, at the beginning part or loan processing credit analyst. We're always providing that 5-star service and making sure that the clients are, well informed and happy with the experience.
Well, that's what you're big on too, the 5-star.
Yeah, of course. You got to cut through the BS basically. Offer a good service, a great outcome, and all the rest is fluff. So yeah, I guess we're on the same page there.
Absolutely. Now let's get to know you a little bit away from the workplace. So we've got all that out the way. A bit of life-work balance. Tell us some of your passions outside of being here.
Yes, so I have a almost 5-year-old pug called Kevin.
Oh, wow.
And he is my little fur baby.
Does he ever come in here?
He has been here before. He's been upstairs, and then when Zav rocks up, starts barking. And I'm like, oh, no, you can't bark at the boss. Outside of that, I'm really passionate about health and fitness as well. So, yeah, from a personal standpoint, making sure that once, we clock off here as much, I'll give my 100%, and I think everyone does within, the hours that
sure do.
we are here. And then outside of that, I like to go to the gym, do some fitness classes, and enjoy time with friends and family.
Lovely.
And travel.
Yes, we love traveling. Just been to Japan.
Oh, wow.
For almost 4 weeks, and that was an amazing experience. Just living in and absorbing different culture. Meeting different people. It's good fun.
It's awesome. So Xavier, maybe you can answer this question. So if I pick up the phone and I ring Go, when do I start speaking to Belle? What's her role, and how would you describe her as part of your team? Yeah,
so Belle comes after we've decided to go ahead with a deal, a loan. So we've looked at all your data. And hopefully by the time you listen to this, it is my data. So we've looked at your data, and we've put together a strategy, and you've agreed to put that in place. Then Belle takes over and actually makes it happen. Cool. So she's the making it happen queen in our team. right? Now that's for now too. I don't know what the future holds. And when I look at the disco ball, I'm hopefully seeing advancement in Belle's career and hopefully being a very successful broker one day.
Awesome. So you like to see that progression through your staff members too?
Yes, for sure. I think, and I mentioned before that the average age of a broker in the industry is like, it's not nice, like it's high. Yeah, and it's getting older by the day, and we need new blood.
Yep.
You know, the baby boomers, well, they're nearly done. The X are following, and then it's time for the other generations. And I think we need to impart that knowledge and teach and grow a team that can do that.
And just to add to that as well, I suppose, with the culture within Go Mortgage, it is that fostering, the team members that we've got now, and everyone always, takes their time to explain things, to make sure that, everyone's on the same page, and to also, just that development within the team.
Yeah, awesome. Would you encourage younger people to look at this industry as a good way to move forward in the future, especially for people that are confused about maybe career direction? What would be your advice to them that are kind of looking at potentially mortgage broking? Yeah,
100%. Mortgage broking I find is so fascinating. I suppose you're the middleman between, the clients and the lenders. It's trying to find that, suitable lender for the client. No two clients are the same. Everyone's, financial and personal situation's always different. And so if you're after something that, you're constantly on the ball with, and if you like a challenge, it's definitely an industry that I would highly recommend getting into.
Do you have any more final questions for Belle before we let her escape? What the listeners can't see, she's chained up here, forced to speak, and we're telling her answers.
No, I don't have
that is definitely tongue-in-cheek. No, well, thank you, Belle, for joining us. Like we said, we want to try and introduce the team as we go on throughout the rest of this year on this show, and it's great that you're the first person to put your hand up willingly and join us. So thank you so much for sharing a little bit about you and your role.
Thanks so much for having me.
That was great.
Thanks.
Okay, Xavier, well, we got to chat with Belle, which was fascinating to hear from some of the staff members. Hopefully we'll bring some more on in the future. How did you find that experience?
Yeah, look, I think it was great. It definitely shows that our industry is going through changes. So, and I guess I could ask you, if you were to go and see a broker, do you want him in a suit and a tie?
I personally don't, no.
Right. So when I started in the industry, you had to be in a suit and a tie, otherwise you weren't taken seriously. We sit here some years later, not too many, a few, and that's definitely gone. Actually, it scares buyers. So if I was to rock up at your place in a suit, that wouldn't go very well, right? So, but that used to be the way we did it. Now, coupled with that, in the industry, the average age of a broker and even support staff is climbing.
Yes.
So it's pretty scary, because who's going to do it when all the old people are gone? Yes, so at Go Mortgage, we do have a focus on a career path development, not only professional development, but also self-development, because we understand that if our people are not happy in the day-to-day life, then they won't be happy here either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting, because that's interesting to me, because I look at it as a vibrant industry. I see actually quite a lot of young people come in and become mortgage brokers, but probably what I don't know or don't see is how long they actually last in the industry. And that might be because they don't have somebody guide them through their journey. They just kind of decide, I'm going to go into that industry. We actually talked about in one of the episodes earlier about people that quickly jump in, try and make a quick buck, and they get out and let people down. So how important do you think it is for experienced mortgage brokers to kind of mentor the younger ones up and coming, so that quality continues through?
Well, it's very important. Firstly, you can't replace experience, right? So yes, you can go to school, you can do a course, but that doesn't give you experience, and that always comes from the older folk. In any industry, it's like that. It needs to be passed on. So that's very important. But also, our industry, in parallel to that, has gone through a big change. So when I started, the expectation of a mortgage broker was a one-man band in his car, traveling around to people's houses and earning commissions. today we're seeing more and more that brokers, and to segue into that, as their business or as their activity grew, I suppose, they were thrown by default into becoming mortgage business owners, right? And so I see still today a lot of brokers, which are pseudo business owners, and they're no good at it. They never learned it. They don't know how to do it. They don't want to do it, actually. I know a lot of mortgage brokers today who are business owners who don't want to be business owners. They just want to be a broker. They want to do their craft and get that, how do you do it? That from when you get the approval and you move your clients forward financially. So we wanted to create an environment where we had a career path for the younger ones. So we've got a pathway from entry to industry. So Belle told us that she was not part of the industry before. She worked in a pet store. Yep. And now she's an MVP in our business. So we want to see more of that, whether it was straight out of uni with a bachelor's degree or with no experience at all, but customer service or sales or, something that is going to help our client journey, we can teach, right? And actually, we do have a career path all the way to broker or credit assessor or support staff. So there are multiple career paths in our business, but we also want to create an environment where a broker can be a broker. They don't have to stress about marketing. They don't have to stress about payroll. They don't have to stress about all the stuff that a business owner is stressed about. They just want to be a broker. Yeah. And so the only way to create new, younger brokers is to give them that confidence that they can concentrate on their craft, and we'll hold their hand and help train them until success.
So what do you look for as a business owner in the type of person? You just said that it doesn't matter necessarily their background, if they've gone to uni or they haven't, but what do you look for when you're recruiting?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So attitude's number one, right? So we can't teach attitude. So we want someone who's got ethics, who's going to put the extra effort in and is going to have pride in their job. So if we have that, we have a winning recipe, basically. Obviously, there's a lot to learn, so someone who's willing to learn along the way. And, Rome wasn't built in a day, so I still see online some places become mortgage broker in a week, or try a year, try two. Like, it takes a long time to know enough to be able to do a good job, because we are playing with people's lives and big financial assets. So, it's not to be taken lightly.
So what do you think, you said 1 year, 2 year, what is the sweet spot in terms of getting that experience to then becoming a broker or a trusted broker or a quality broker?
Yeah, well, I think so 1 to 3 years should see you become a broker, depending on, your life experience, how quick to learn you might be and how confident you are as well. So some prefer take it slower and make sure their knowledge is up by the time they, hit the streets. It's so sad, not that we do that anymore now. But some want to move faster. So it really depends from people to people, but there is mentoring. So the Mortgage Finance Association of Australia and the Finance Brokers Association of Australia both talk about 2-year mentorship. So, and this is just for the broker piece. Often, if you're fresh in the industry, there's a journey to take before you can think about being a broker. Sure. And in our business, we have a path where we bring you in at the first step, first base, we teach you that, and then we grow you forward up from there to either become a loan processor, credit assessor, a customer care, in our customer care team, and then from there you can spring to broker. So it's still, there's a little bit of a journey before you hit the I'm becoming a broker button, and then from there there's probably a 2-year mentorship until you're fully ready to fly on your own.
Sure. So a little bit more insight into Go Mortgage and your business. So we talked about keeping up with the times. What are some ways that you are implementing that mentality through Go Mortgage?
Yeah, so it's multi-pronged approach, I suppose. Well, we're doing a podcast, yes. So I guess I'm hoping that's part of keeping up with the times. We always look at our processes to make sure that our client experience is as safe and as seamless as possible. So we spoke about smart data in the last few episodes. So, that's massive in terms of how we at the forefront of using tech to make sure that, we eliminated fraud wherever we can. We eliminated time spent by customers and our team to do menial tasks that, hey, in this day and age with AI and tech, we really don't need to do.
Yes.
And then from there is also realizing that, part of the time and energy we should spend is to teach, whether it was our customers, our referral partners, or our team, and then if on top of that we add an environment where it's cool to go to work and we like doing what we do and we get that, those few moments of real reward, I think that should be a good recipe.
For a little bit more insight, you showed me before we recorded today, you said, come with me, and took me into the tea room over there and showed me the Wall of Fame. So what's going on there? A bit of instant feedback? How do we describe that?
Yeah, okay. So there is a Japanese word called Kaizen, which is continuous improvement. And that's something that we've adopted in our business. And so we always look at ways to do things better. So sometimes the government might change regulation, sometimes it's technology, and sometimes it's the market that dictates a change in things. We're always keeping up to the times, but what that was about was more internal, and it was trying to remove frictions and bottlenecks in the process. And yes, a lot of those were directed at me. And so we're trying to remove me from the process in a lot of ways. I can't be relied upon, yeah.
No, well, thank you again. I mean, I really enjoyed this episode, the overall episode, because we got a little bit more insight into Go, obviously from a staff member, from you as well, some of the cool things you're implementing and the ways you're staying on top of things. So that was an awesome episode, Xavier. Thank you so much. And as always, I always forget this. We need a call to action. So how do we find you? Where do we go to get involved?
Just Google it. Yeah. Best Mortgage Broker Gold Coast.
That's all you have to do. And we'll put the link up, of course. And as always, we'll see you next month.
See you next month.